with you. Now, based on that analysis, those trends, you make decisions for the future. Okay. The important aspect over here to discuss is the future. Okay. Because in AI, what happens is you have a certain gadget available with you. He doesn't know what actions to be taken, right? You have trained that gadget, that device, that robot, or any software which performs the AI task is basically trained to perform the specific task, which is going to be taking place in the future only. Okay. Now, tools which we use are the statistical techniques, which are very, very important. In order to be a data scientist, okay, you need to be very, very good at these statistical techniques. Machine learning algorithms are used so that you can make the analysis which is going to help you to make analytical approach for the future. Okay, because a lot of data is available with us, we will be processing them with the help of big data transformation, uh, big data softwares to transform that information to the required form. How many of you are using, if you raise your hands, how many of you are using Google Maps for traveling? How many of you? Every one of you, right?
Yes.
Right. So what happens when you use the Google Maps? See, Google Maps has a static data with them, which is available in the form of images. When you try to provide the information that where you want to start from and where your destination is, you get the information of the whole route, the best available route on the Google Map, right? So uh, from the starting to the end point, you may have plenty of the routes available, but what it does is it provides the route based on the distance, based on the traffic in that area. Lesser is the traffic, higher are the chances that it will recommend you the route which is having the less traffic and is the shorter one, means in terms of the length. Okay, so what happens in that case? It checks out who are the travelers in that particular route. Okay, it picks up the data, the internet data. Based on that internet data, it checks out, okay, here in this range we have huge traffic. Based on the traffic, what it does is it gives you the recommendation that don't travel through this route. It is going to take a lot of time. So what happens? It does the uh, analysis right at the time you enter the information. Okay. So that is like analytical approach. Okay. It picks up the information. The target is to recommend you the shortest distance and is going to take the lesser time. Okay. So how it has been trained? It has been trained in the form of a lot of historical data. It based on that data, it analyzes the distance and the present data which is available with it. It performs the analytical approach and provides you the business information which is available in the form of distance and time. Okay. So being an analytical professional, your goal is to provide the knowledge from the data which is available. You take the informed decisions then. Your management takes the informed decisions then. And how decisions are taken, not by seeing the numbers, right? So we generally think that we will show the numbers on the picture and we will make the informed decisions. No, you see the end result on the Google map in the form of the travel distance, the travel route, and the travel time. That is the ultimate output, right? Based on that output, you are going to make the decision. Similarly, when you are going to do the analytical analysis, what is your objective? Your objective is to make the informed decision. How you are going to make the informed decision? With the help of uh, graphs and the visualizations which your team provides you as a manager, or you provide as a data analytical professional to your seniors. So visualization is a very, very important aspect. Based on the visualizations, you make the stories. You tell your audience, the ultimate audience. Who is your audience? Your stakeholders, your the upper management. And once they see it, they make decision. Okay, this is the approach we should follow. Okay, this is the time when we are going to uh, make a profitable sale. Okay, so in nutshell, what we understand is analytical approaches to predict the future. Okay, so these are very important aspects. Now there are two important things in the field of data analytics. Sometimes when we do data analytics on the data available with us, we um, join it with the AI. Okay, we generally compare it with the AI. We treat it like that we are doing some artificial intelligence. So there is certain overlapping in there. So when we do the data analytics, there are two things which we consider. Okay, the first thing is the qualitative analytics, and the second one is the quantitative uh, analytics. These are very, very important aspects which create the foundation for your AI journey. The qualitative analytics requires you to have certain experience. Okay, because you are going to make intuitions based on your experience. Okay, when we talk about the quantitative analytics, what we do is we apply machine learning algorithms, machine learning approaches to make the analytical studies. Okay, so this is very important. So when we do the qualitative analytics, we are applying our intuitions and our experience, and accordingly we take the business move. Sometimes we do the surveys, sometimes we apply our experience. Okay, this is time the products are to be introduced to the market. Okay, so these are very, very important things. So whenever we um, introduce something into the market, the this approach is considered first. Okay, so we whenever we release any new product, whenever we release any services, whenever we apply anything into the action, these two things are taken into the consideration. Okay, now if you remember, um, you might have heard about that some satellite is being released, or some satellite is being planned to be released. What they actually do is they decide on a lot of factors. Okay, so what is the best time? What recently we have released the satellite which reached the exact location of the moon. So what has happened at that time? They planned a lot of things. Okay, they applied a lot of qualitative analysis that okay, this is the right time to send the satellite, because if we plan this activity within 5 days, within 10 days, this is definitely going to reach the south pole of the moon. Okay, so these experiences are very, very important. Okay, and that comes with time. But when we talk about the quantitative analytics, we utilize our knowledge about the algorithms. Okay, and now you would be thinking about what tools can be used in this aspect. Okay, there are plenty of tools, but when you are doing the analytics, qualitative analytics, you would be doing the surveys. You can do interviews. You can see the reports being available with you, or you can focus on particular groups. That is all. Okay. But when you are doing the quantitative analytics, you would be using lot of tools. Okay, what those tools can be? They can be spreadsheets, they can be statistical software. Okay, statistic is very, very important. Okay, and the data visualization tools. Okay, so what we do, we find out the probabilities actually when we use these statistics. Mathematically, we solve them and they help us to solve the trends. Okay, they provide us the probabilities whether we are into the success, whether we are going to fail, how those things are going to react in the near future. Okay, so you may analyze certain data and apply algorithms and solve the business problem. Now I'm going to give you very basic example of this. Okay, you probably maybe working with the certain beverage organization. I have worked with a lot of beverage organizations. So I'm bringing this scenario with you, right? So let's suppose you are a manager in an organization where your job is uh, to cater the business of beverage industry. Okay, that can be anything. You can be into the soft drink, you can be into the hard drink, you may be into the coffee business, right? There are plenty of things in this industry, right? So, so what happens is you suppose that you are planning to introduce a product, a new product to the market, right? What you will do as a qualitative analytics professional. Now understand this point, which is very important. Okay, so you have a lot of experience, maybe 15 years of experience into the beverage industry, maybe 20 years of experience into the beverage industry. Okay, you are planning to introduce a new beverage, and you thought that okay, if I'm into the coffee business, right? We have a lot of stores in different states, maybe in India. Okay, so you may plan that okay, XYZ beverage is really going to benefit us. It is very new to the market. No one is into the business. You brought that idea from, let's say, the Western country, right? And you know that if this taste is introduced, if this beverage is introduced with particular taste, is definitely going to win the market. Now, the real question is, the real question is not the introduction of the product. The real important factor over here is when to introduce that particular product to the market, right? So for that, you will be considering the data which is available with you, the sales data. You would analyze, okay, this is the month. If I introduce my product, the new beverage to the product, July is the month when we can make the good business. So now here we have two things in question, right? The first thing is the new product, which is really a winner. But if you will introduce that product somewhere in, let's say July or Feb, you know that it won't make any impression in the market. It is not going to bring the business. But if it is the month of July, let's suppose, is definitely going to hit the market. Okay, and largest is the customer base and larger would be the word of mouth. Okay, so these are the two things, two different things. You could have introduced that product in July, sorry, January, or maybe in the February. It could have turned out as a loss for the company. Okay, so your experience about the product may be very good, but the real factor over here is when that thing should be introduced. So these are the ideas. These are the subjects that we need to consider while working um, in the analyticals business, so that we can bring out business. Because end of the day, what we want to do, we are not doing the social services, right? We as a organization, we as a part of the organization, the ultimate objective, the ultimate goal is to bring in the revenue. Okay, so you, all of you are using WhatsApp, if I'm not wrong. Every one of you might be using it. Can you raise your hands? So every one of you is using WhatsApp. Every one of you is using Facebook. See, you are communicating, you are making the real calls with the help of WhatsApp. You make the international calls with the help of WhatsApp. Do you think it's a free service? No, not at all. Okay, not at all. Why? Because what happens is you are using WhatsApp, you are communicating through the WhatsApp software or similar software. What Facebook and WhatsApp in conjunction do is they try to pick up the keywords, not actual chat. They try to pick up the keywords from your communication. Okay. And based on those keywords, they start recommending you the advertisements on the Facebook pages. Right now, they have also started providing you the advertisement on the WhatsApp too. All right. On the business pages. So what they actually do is they provide you the advertisement. They try to recommend you uh, the ads, right? The investors, what they do is, let's suppose I'm as an investor, right? As a the third party organization, what I want is to cater only those customers on the WhatsApp or Facebook. Those are interested in my product. Let's say I want to start um, um a beverage. I want to introduce a beverage to the market, right? In the packaged form. Let's suppose it's a new tea product. Now I want to cater only those customers who are interested to buy my tea product. And how I would know that? There is no magic, right? What they do is they try to cater the chats where the keyword tea is being used. Okay. They will try to find out only those chats, and based on those customers which they found in the chats, they would start recommending the advertisements only to those customers, so that the revenue could be generated, so that as a investor into the advertisements, I should get certain outcomes in terms of sales. So I would get the target audience, right, with the help of the Facebook recommendations, and my ad will reach the right audience. So this is not at all a free business, right? You're not getting these free services. Facebook is trying to learn, right, the customers, the trends, the groups. Okay, they are who they are interested in particular thing. Understanding the point, right? So that is the ultimate objective. Same is applied to the Facebook. Okay. Same is applied to any other business, maybe the Google Maps, in fact. Okay. So what Google Maps does is they try to find out, they try to learn which are the more traffic areas. Okay. They try to find out the locations where more business can be catered. Okay. And accordingly, when advertisements are being published on uh, uh, the business pages, okay, the charges are being catered from the investors, the advertisers who are going to post the ads on the pages. Okay, so that's how the ads are being charged. End of the day, revenue is the objective. Okay, now the next thing is business intelligence. Okay, now we have discussed what is basically the analysis, right? The same thing applies to the business intelligence and business analytics. So when you talk about business intelligence, you are basically analyzing and reporting the historical business data, and your end objective is to explain the past events that has happened in the particular business in question. Okay, but when you move to the business analytics, your objective is to forecast the future. Okay, you're going to tell your organization, you're going to tell your senior management that this is the right time, this is the right day when we are going to achieve the right profit, right? This is the time when we are going to cater the customers, okay? And we generate certain scenarios within the organization itself, and we then work accordingly. Just suppose this is just human brain which can think without any data analysis. Let's suppose you are all the business service, you are going into the business, a new business, and that business is into the let's say the ice cream business, right? So this is the winter season in India, right? Now if you plan to introduce the ice cream in the winter season, is it going to give you a win or is it going to lose? Those who think that it is going to win can raise their hands, right? So every one of you is agreeing that it is not going to bring in the business in the season, in the winter season, right? Contrary, if you are going to introduce this particular product in the summer season, is definitely going to bring the business, right? This is general approach, right? It is general approach. What kind of approach it is? It is quantitative analytics, right? Over here we are just using our experience. Oh, this is the winter season. If I'm going to bring the new ice cream product to the market, it is not going to win. This is just the quantitative analytical approach. But how you are going to bring that business intelligence, the real business intelligence to your business, you would then start analyzing your sales in your data. You would try to analyze whether you are getting sales in the winter or not, right? Whether you are going to make good sales in the summer or not, right? So based on the data which is available in your hand, you are going to make your quantitative approaches. Okay, you are going to apply the algorithms in your real data, and based on that you would generate your business intelligence dashboards. Okay, based on your past data you would generate your business intelligence dashboards. Now using those dashboards you would now start using the quantitative business intelligence, and based on that quantitative business intelligence you would apply your real approach. You would now forecast whether you are going to make the business or not, whether it is right approach or not to bring the new ice cream product or to start the new ice cream business in the winter season or not. Okay, you may buy the data from the market, or you may utilize the free data which is available in the certain portals, or you may cater the social media platforms. You may buy the data to see the user trends, to see whether you can start this business in the winter or not. Okay, this is the ultimate objective. Now we cannot go by just thought processing, right? We cannot do the thought processing. We are more reliable on the forecasting algorithms which can study the data and give us the trends, give us the groups, give us the areas where we can introduce a product and can make sales. Make sense, right? Right. So this is what business intelligence is. And I have shown you the example of one of the revenue dashboard of the telecommunication organization, just to give you the idea how actually it works. So bringing these kind of dashboards into action is not very easy with the tools like Python or R programming, because you can definitely build out the tools, but you cannot bring out this kind of visualizations very easily. So for this kind of subject, what we do is we use Power BI and W. Okay, so we can make real life scenarios in these tools and bring out certain business. Okay. So end of the day, the goal is not to show the numbers, just the numbers. The goal is to show how in the form of picture how things are actually working. Okay, so this is very very important. You move to any organization, whether it is hospitalization, whether it is hospitality, whether it is the sales business, whether it is the service industry, you talk about any business stream, it is used in there, it is applied in there. Okay? So it is very, very important scenario which you cannot ignore, and you cannot regret learning these things because end of the day, this is the demand of the market. So you always go by demand of the market. It is not like um, the demand is to work on bringing the forecasting softwares, and you are working still on the old fashioned languages, and those languages are not going to bring in the business. Okay, so you will have to definitely dive into the products, the scenarios which can be utilized, which can be helpful to bring certain outcomes in terms of profits end of the day to that particular business. Okay, so moving ahead, so you would be thinking like how this can be applied, how we can utilize uh, such kind of uh, scenarios into the real business. Now we are moving ahead, talking about the machine learning, okay, and its application scenarios. I will give you few examples for your understanding. So your doubts about machine learning will also be cleared, and how data scientists work and how machine learning works, that can be clarified. Okay. So what machine learning is? Okay. So machine learning is nothing, right? It is software. You can say it is a program which can think explicitly, right? Uh, It can think in the way which it has not been programmed. It is just going to work out of the box, okay, and give you the suggestions uh, which you haven't programmed that software for. Okay, so it just goes out of the box and gives you suggestions. Now you can use it and you can apply it using the algorithms to receive data from the sources. That source can be anything, that your business, that could be your business, that could be third party service providers who provide you data, and you can utilize that data to make predictions about your business. Okay, you can analyze the patterns in the data, and you can give the recommendations finally. Okay, this is the ultimate objective of the machine learning. There is no confusion. Okay, think it like you are just finding out the probabilities of certain things going to happen or not. That is the ultimate objective, and you find out those probabilities with the help of the machine learning algorithms. Okay, and the data science process in question, what it does is you the whole process I'm going to tell you about the data science. What data science does is it understands the business problems. Okay, when you are working in a data science as a data scientist, you are trying to understand the business problems. You collect the data. Okay, third step is you try to clean the data and explore it. Finally, you build the model, and at last you collect the insights. Okay, those insights you share with uh, your management. Okay, your teams or your stakeholders, your clients. You share that information with your end customers then. Okay, so that's the final thing about the data science process. Now, you as a data scientist built out the model, right? You now want to deploy it, right? And then you would take the help of machine learning professionals to deploy your model, right? So what they do is, as a machine learning professional, so what they do is they would apply their knowledge, they would apply their skills, okay, and would deploy your machine learning model and utilize the services and provide the services to the end users. Now, as a data scientist, you might be thinking, like, are they are going to write down certain algorithms? No. See, there are certain contradictions in understanding. What are those contradictions? Is as a machine learning professional, your goal is to write down the algorithms which are highly performance oriented. Means the algorithms that can solve problems in a fraction of seconds in a lesser time. Okay, your core objective as a machine learning professional. Okay, you should be very very sound. Your knowledge should be very good in terms of data structures, in terms of algorithms, in terms of computer science. Means the ML engineers should be highly proficient, okay, in computer science. They know how to manage the memory, right? They know how to program things. They are very, very proficient in the languages like C, C++, Java, Scala, Python, R, and Julia. Okay, they are very, very proficient because they want to develop the models that can bring the uh, that can solve the problems in lesser time. Because ultimate goal is to solve the problems in shorter time. So mostly they would work in C, C++, Scala and Julia, right? Why Julia? Because it is again another language which can which is like Python, which looks like Python but has very very high efficiency of C and C++. Now a lot of organizations are writing their the core algorithms in this language, right? So Python is higher level language are above uh, these languages where we utilize the algorithms being written by the ML engineers. Okay, so what data scientists do is they are very very proficient in telling the data stories. They are very very good at domain knowledge. For instance, I gave you the example of beverage. There are the professionals. Let's say you are into the finance organization, you may hire the data scientists who are expert in CFA, okay, who have very high knowledge about the finance. So this is the domain knowledge, and domain knowledge comes with time, comes with education, uh, comes when you start working on the particular business. Okay, in here data scientists, what they do is they use languages like Python and R. They also use tools like Excel. Sometimes data scientists may not write any algorithm, believe me, right? They may not write algorithms for months. They would solve the problem right in the Excel itself. They may use their intuitions sometimes, as I discussed already. Okay, so they would use the libraries which are being generated by the ML engineers. Library generated by the ML engineers. So the role of ML engineer is very important. And sometimes you may say that, okay, my friend has been hired as a ML engineer uh, in particular organization, and he's working as a data scientist. See, the role of data scientist and ML engineer may overlap. Okay, this can overlap depending upon the organization, depending upon the city he's working, uh, depending upon the business they are catering. Okay, so that role may vary, but in reality, this is the picture I'm telling you. Okay, so data scientist should be very, very proficient in Excel and tools like Python, R, and Power BI with the domain knowledge. Okay, so job duty of a data scientist is to build out the prototypes, the business prototypes, presents the insights about the data, and tells you the stories about the data to the stakeholders, and tells you the plans that should be made out in terms of business. Now we utilize these things accordingly in the field of AI. Okay, end of the day, uh, when we are planned enough, when we are ready about our scenarios, our business pointers, we can now apply them in real scenarios then. Okay, based on the inputs we take from the um, data scientist, the insights they provide us, we can apply them in real time scenarios. Okay, so I was talking about the deployment. Okay, so you as a data scientist, let's say, brought out certain model, and the ML engineer is now going to deploy it. Now that deployment uh, infrastructure is being built out by the ML engineer. So as a ML engineer, you will build out the infrastructure which is required for the deployment of that particular model. So that model can be the robotic services. That infrastructure can be, now you might have heard about the tools which are available online. Okay, you just upload your image, and what they do is they will generate a video of yours without even you are acting. Okay, you can present your news. uh, you can just upload the text that would generate the news with your visuals by just utilizing your image, right? So that kind of AI task, uh, once generated by the data science professionals, is then deployed with the help of ML engineers. They build out the infrastructure, they provide you the services, right? And is then made into uh, the serviceable product. Now you may ask to deploy that model to the wearable objects. That wearable object can be your watch. Okay, many of you are using these days the watches, right? Android product, maybe the iOS product that come in house with a lot of tools. They can detect your heartbeat, right? They can detect your heartbeat. They can tell you whether you had a good sleep or not. Just imagine, by just wearing a wearable object, you are able to determine that thing. When you are sleeping, when you are having deep sleep, when you are not having a deep sleep. Okay. So these kind of models can be developed and can be deployed on a devices. Now you would be thinking how it can be deployed. You would be utilizing the services of ML engineers. Now that ML engineer is going to deploy that particular software on very small memory, because he understand how memory management can be done, how that small device can be utilized to serve the purpose of the business. Okay. Similarly, you may be interested to deploy a model on driverless cars, right? Very famous subject these days, right? How many of you have heard about driverless cars? Although it is not in action these days in the market, but it is now getting the hype these days. Many cars, like if you might have heard about, if I'm not wrong, BMW has deployed that services into one of their um car, where what it does is it will park the car automatically, isn't it? You don't need to take, you don't need to touch your wheel. It will automatically park the car, right? How it is being done, right? So such kind of uh, models, once designed, once developed, machine learning professional will deploy that model to a car, right? A very small computer inside the car, which will also be responsible to record the errors and to inform those errors to the services department. Okay, which will then understand where that error is getting generated, how that error is going to get generated, how that can be corrected, and how then it can be deployed automatically from this distance location. Okay, so these are activities, certain activities uh, being done by different group of people in the field of AI. Okay. Now, when you talk about artificial intelligence, you utilize all the knowledge which I have already discussed now. Then what you do is you simulate the human knowledge and decision making skills with the help of computer, right? Now, the robot which you design uh, is a basically a combination of mechanical device, electronic device, some electrical components are being used, and a computer is being used, and now it is taking the instruction from you and bringing those instructions into the action and showing you the end results, right? You are giving the instruction, okay, walk, it is walking. You are giving the instruction that run, it is running. You are providing a certain weight weighted object to that particular robot. It is taking it and moving it to the another location. Okay, so just for example, I'm going to show you um, videos so that you can connect. So you can see this is the robot. um, I hope my screen is visible to everyone. You can raise hands if it is visible.
No visible.
Sir,
Visible,
not
right?
visible.
Not visible. Okay. Okay. So it's, I hope it is visible now. So now you can
Yeah,
see over
it's not.
here that this is a robot, right? Um, what it is
Yes,
doing,
sir,
it is
visible.
not taking the human help. It is not taking the human help. It is analyzing the box and automatically it is packing that particular product. Okay,
Yes, sir.
right? So let me show you the another visual. So this is the new product by Adobe. So what they have done is they have introduced this particular service within their Adobe Photoshop tool. In there, you just need to give the instruction in the text form and it will take the action. See, the background has been removed and be replaced with the required visual. Now over here you can see the image size was very small, but with the help of generative support, what they have done is it has automatically generated the required image and it changed the background. So there is another tool being generated. It's a litter cam basically. So while you are traveling, it will
Ashwin, you have been muted.
Oh, I'm sorry, really sorry. So over here you can see um, this is a fire extinguisher. What it does is if there is any fire, the AI will automatically detect whether there is any fire, okay, and will take the action promptly. Okay, now you can see this is another AI. See, we have AI cashier, right? So what it does, it will detect the image. The it is being applied in one of the restaurant. What it does is when you take certain food, put it on the table, it will detect that image and automatically will generate the invoice for you. How cool is that, right? So there are hundred of approaches you can apply in real time, right? In real time, and you may find out a lot of things in reality, in real picture in the market, and you can think, okay, this is something which we can solve, the problem which can be solved with the help of AI in the market, and we can get a certain business. Okay, there are certain services which are being offered free of cost. You think they are free of cost, but they are associated uh, uh, in terms of revenue generation business, which I gave you as an example um, little earlier about WhatsApp, Facebook, social media platforms. I discussed about that. Okay. So they look like the free services, the social services, but end of the day, they are associated with certain revenue generating model. Okay. Maybe one revenue generating model, maybe many revenue generating model. And this is one of the solution which is very easy to build. Okay. This particular solution hardly takes a day or two to solve a problem. Okay. And lately, you can spend little time to find the errors. uh, Maybe you can spend certain time to find out some sizes errors in the platter, possibly. Maybe it can detect wrong platter size, but those are other things, right? But the ultimate understanding objective is that this kind of solution can be generated in a short span of time. And as a real AI professionals or ML professionals, you need to find out the areas where we can definitely apply these kind of these kind of solutions, where we can bring out these kind of solutions. We need to understand that particular areas, those problems. Okay. One important aspect which I have recently seen uh, earlier, I am very fond of cameras, for instance. I purchased a lot of cameras. I haven't ever seen, means this was very important aspect, although image stabilization was very important aspect earlier. So I have seen many DSLRs, but I haven't ever seen that they can stabilize the image while you are running, while you are working. They were not very proficient in that particular scenarios, whether they were video cameras, whether they were DSLRs. But in recent time, I have seen that there are certain organizations, for instance, GoPro, DJI, what they have done is they introduced their product. Uh, they introduce the image stabilization. What it does is even if you rotate the camera, image is still stabilized. The position, the aspect ratios of the images or the videos you are capturing, they are not at all disturbed. So how it is being done? You are bringing in the ML based solutions. You are applying certain algorithms. You are teaching your devices, and the device is understanding based on the instructions you are passing that this is how the image should react. This is how image should be recorded or the video should be recorded, and end of the day, the ultimate result will be delivered to you on your particular device. So I have many of such visuals being recorded. I have given you the demonstration of few of them over here. I think this is a great thing to understand how your um, your studies can be applied into bringing out the solutions. There is one more solution like um, there is a uh, this is a robotic services. A paralyzed a man who has been recently operated is being yes. Yes. So he is being walking, right? He was earlier paralyzed. So certain devices has been attached to his brain, and now just by receiving the instruction from the brain, he is able to walk now, which was not earlier possible because his brain was not able to communicate with rest of his body parts. But with the help of a device which is being attached to his brain, you can see this device is now attached to the brain, and that is now sending these signals to rest of the body parts. And now he can easily move, he can easily walk, right? So now such kind of solutions can be also introduced, right? So although this requires a lot of effort, it's a teamwork, a lot of professionals are required along with your own knowledge. Okay, so I'm moving back to my PPT. I hope my PPT is visible, right?
Not
No, sir.
visible.
No.
Visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
great, great, great. Now, the next question arises that who is using Python? You just take the name of any organization. Just talk about any organization. They are using um, they are using Python in one or another way. They're using R programming in one or other way, right? Um, so if you take an example of Google search engine is very famous, very old into the market. What it does, it already has a information, right? So what it does is it takes a text information and gives you the search result, which are which are having a relevance with your keywords. Okay, so what it is doing, it is finding out the most closest keywords which are associated with your search result, and accordingly you are getting the information. Let's suppose you are searching a tea and coffee on a search engine and you are getting the result for cold drinks. No relevance, right? End of the day you would say that okay, Google is not giving the right result, so what is the benefit? All right, let's suppose you are using the Google map and you are interested to travel uh, to particular location, but you are getting the wrong result. So what happens is uh, the results should be accurate. The results should be as per your requirement. So this is the ultimate objective. We want the right result, and those results should be delivered in a shorter span of time. Python is proficient in that particular scenario. So as a data science professionals, we want something which is easy, understandable, convenient to write, right? Which takes lesser time. Just think we are writing the machine learning algorithm in a C or C++ language. How tough it would have been, right? Though ML engineers do that stuff, I'm not denying. But as a data scientist, what we want is a solution which can solve our problem in short span of time. See, what ML engineer does is, even if you have a algorithm already written, they can tweak it. They can tweak it, right? They can change the algorithm. They can, in fact, rewrite the algorithm of their own, focusing on the particular scenario. But data scientists would never do that. They would use the pre-built solutions written, or they will instruct the ML engineers to write down the algorithms and utilize into the business. So that is the thing. Now, Python is so easy, so giant in the market nowadays, can solve plenty of things. Mostly all the solutions are mature. They give you very close results. And every day we are getting the updates which are making the libraries more stronger and convenient to understand. You talk about Survey Monkey, they perform, they give, basically they generate the surveys based on your instruction and cater the result. Uh, they are using Python. Uber, they are using Python for calculating the distance and making your journey more convenient, making vehicles, the cabs available to you in a short span of time. IBM is using Python. Every you talk about any industry, being the private sector to the government sector, they are using Python in one or other way, right? Um, we are using um, these AI solutions in building out our satellites, right? They so that they can communicate with us, they can perform the activities as designed, they can make decisions even if they are disconnected from us. So those things are being done with the help of AI. And you can just think about these are all non-industries, non-organizations around the globe, and they are using Python. Cura is very famous. The whole solution is built on top of Python. Facebook is also using Python, but they are using a lot of things, not the one, but they are using a lot of things. If you talk about the job opportunities, this particular image is little older, right? But the fact is still same. If you will search out Python jobs, even in the Delhi NCR region, you would find out that there are more than 4,000 requirements in the market at current point. I'm sorry. So uh, the numbers are different depending upon different cities, right? You move to Gurgaon, you move to Noida, everywhere you would find that there are a lot of requirements. Okay, the numbers could be different on Indeed because certain websites have more exposure into the Western countries. Some websites have more hits in the Indian continents. So depending upon that scenario, you would get the different results. Now, a lot of job portals are introduced in the market, so the numbers can vary. Okay, depending upon the portals in action in the question. Some portals are providing test services to the companies. What they do is they conduct the test right on their portal and recommend the right particular candidate to the organization so that they can simplify the hiring process. And LinkedIn is another giant. You would find thousands of jobs being posted over there. So if you have their subscription, um, you would find that there are thousands of jobs. Uh, India and in India as well as internationally, they are being posted on their portal. So pay scale is another questionable thing. See, pay scale is something which really varies from organization to organization. Because I have worked with plenty of organizations, I have provided a lot of services to small scale to large scale industries. Starting from, I started my journey of providing services as a freelance consultant from Teva Pharmaceutical. So that is a pharmaceutical company. Um, I have seen them to the current organizations in the question, right? I've seen a lot of organizations. Uh, I've seen them offering different scales. So I have taken the averages over here. So if you are being hired as a Python professional, depending upon the organization, depending upon the city location, you may easily get 4 to 9 lakhs LPA package. Okay. Um, if you are working as a Django and a Flask developer, I didn't talk about the Django and Flask web development environment. Basically, they are API generation tools. They were introduced to build out the APIs. APIs are basically application programming interfaces. So what they do is, you suppose suppose you have a model generated and you hosted it on certain web environment. Now what you want is you want to deliver some services. Let's say you want to perform certain analysis, you want to generate an image, let's suppose, right? What it does is, it will give you the interfaces. You can either develop the web application, or you can just generate the APIs which you can consume in your local environment or in your local application. So with the help of interfaces, you can upload the image if you are uh, if you have purchased that API, for instance, right? If it is free, no question, no problem with that. You can definitely upload your image and get the required results. So it gives you the connecting points, right, which you can connect with your local application, or you can develop the full-fledged web application. So Django and Flask are very famous in that. Nowadays, another tool is being introduced, is basically Fast API, getting very hype these days in the market, and is also um, overtaking the Flask services, right? So it is very fast. It's very easy to learn, to build out the APIs for larger application, large infrastructure application, right? So if you're if you are very proficient in it and you are very good at deploying your models on these web platforms, you can easily get 5.5 to 9 lakh package, right? As a machine learning professional, you can get up to 12 lakhs package, and as a analytics professional or visualization expert, you may get package up to 10 lakhs. But scenario varies. If you are working as a Power BI professional or Tableau professional, that can go as high as 17 lakh LPA. Okay, so that is variable scale. Okay, so I have discussed a lot. If you have any question about anything regarding this field, I'm open to answer. I will be happy if I can meet your expectations in answering that question.
Everybody, you can drop your questions in the chat box or just simply use your mics to ask your question if you have any.
One at a time. Please ask one at a time.
Hello.
Hello.
Audible,
Yes.
Yes.
sir?
Yes,
Yes,
you are
yes.
audible.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible. You are audible.
Sir, I want to ask one question. Hello.
Yes.
Please
Continue
ask your
with it.
question. Please ask your question.
Sir, Sir, as the AI continue to evolve, how
Mhm.
do you see its role in data analytics influencing decision making progress in IT organizations?
See, let's suppose um, you want to, you don't know, do not. I'm giving you very simple example, right? Based on your question. Suppose that, suppose, turn off your mic, please. Um, Suppose you want to collect information and you want to apply it into the data analytical approaches. Let's suppose. So you may build out robotic solutions that can gather the information, right? Uh, and you can utilize that information in your business scenarios. Or let's suppose you have a you have a certain shop, let's say, and you can build out a solution, computerized solution, which can uh, which can take the input from the user as a customer. Means whenever any customer approach your shop, they can give the input right at the um right at that computer which you have installed over there, and can collect that information from the customer and recommend him the required products. Okay. Another scenario is very common these days. Let's suppose you means let's say I'm a YouTube. I want to bring some business to my company. So what I would do is I would see as a new user. If you are a new user, you are coming to my app. You are watching certain video, and I would learn your taste. I would learn your interest, right? And would start recommending you videos accordingly. Okay. So what would be my objective of recommending you the videos? My objective is to allow you to watch my videos as much as possible, right? And if you would watch more videos, I would recommend you more advertisements based on your interest. Now I would also check who are my end users, who are my end customers, who are my investors, whom they want to show their advertisements. So I can connect the pipelines and accordingly will show you the advertisements. Now, this approach of collecting the data um, automatically and utilizing that data into my real business scenarios would be would be variant would be variable depending upon the business in question, right? It would be hard to develop the solution which can collect data automatically, but you can definitely rely on the pre-built solutions already in the market. Now these social media applications, they give you the APIs, you can buy their services, you can target your audience. Okay, you can build out the solution, then you can, after collecting the data, you can build out the solution which can target your right audience, and accordingly you can build out your solution. Okay, so that interface would act like a artificial intelligent interface, because that has been designed to collect the information in real time and giving the suggestions accordingly. Okay, so if you would have asked particular scenario which would have been relevant to particular business, it would have been more convenient for me to help you understand that particular scenario. But I gave you the open scenario, right, as an answer. I hope that serves the purpose.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have one more question. As
Hmm.
we consider the rapid phase of AI development in future, how can IT professionals stay updated and adapt their skill set to leverage the latest tools and technique in data analytics?
That's a good question. Technology is definitely changing every day. Now, earlier we were talking about machine learning was uh, in a boom in the market. Now, data engineering is at boom in the market. Why? Because data is largely getting uh, gathered with the means we. If I give you an example, earlier, if you go back around 7 or 8 years, what used to happen? We used to use only 1 GB of data in a month, if I'm not wrong, right? So data was very costly at that time. And then Geo came to the market and they started rolling out the free data on their SIM cards. So a lot of people got deviated from uh, uh, the existing service providers, and they moved to the Geo, right? And the data accessibility gone high, right? So people who were using only 1 GB of data in a month, they started utilizing 2 GB or 3 GB of data on daily basis. So that data started growing up, right? Now the data which companies were storing was in TBs. Now it is in petabytes, right? And that number is scaling. So organizations now have a lot of data with them. You can call any organization, name it, they have huge data already with them, but they do not know what is the right data for generating the right revenue at right time, right? So even data scientists are dependent on collecting that kind of data. They would seek that data so that they can generate the insights out of it. So data engineering is another field which is getting the hypes these days. Now they are capable of capturing the data from the big data solutions, and they clean it, they process it, and they provide the questionable data to the right agents. So you need to be connected. You need to be a good reader, right? Let's suppose you get a job today. You may not be technically sound by end of the year, maybe because new tools have been introduced. You need to be connected. You need to be a good reader. Start reading the magazines, right? You need to be a good reader, right? This is very important. So you need to keep your checks on the job portals to see what is in demand now, right? What are the tools which are in demand nowadays, and where you should move now. So this is very important. So if you will be a good learner, you would definitely find a lot of areas where you can see the new tools getting in, and you need to get updated on. Okay, I hope that serves the
Yes.
purpose.
Sir, I want to know your views on in the context of future of AI that how do you advise the balance between automation and human intervention in the data analytics workflow?
See, human intervention is very important.
Ashman, just a minute, just a minute. Anybody else is also having any question, please ask. Rather than just having questions from one person, you will answer the question to him. But anybody else who is also having any question, please let us know. Please carry on, Anshuman.
See, AI is there, but it cannot take the position of human brain. So human brain is always important. Now, you might have heard about the chat GPT, if I'm not wrong. So if you
Yes.
ask any question to the chat GPT, it gives you the answers, right? It is very subjective. It gives you answer very correctly most of the time. But still, if you would try to generate the code, it is not important to say, means it is not correct to say that it would always give you the correct code. I have utilized it many of times to simplify my task when I am providing my services to the clients. Initially, when it was rolled out, I was getting a lot of calls from my clients. They were asking different kind of solutions. I took the help of ChatGPT at that time. I'm not denying it. So if something is there, you should utilize it. But lately, I found that I'm getting a lot of issues. I'm getting a lot of errors. Right? It is not very subjective. It is not solving me, giving me the right solution to a particular scenario, or the solution which is being generated is taking my lot of time, right? Some or other way. So you can depend upon them. No, I'm not denying it, right? But human interaction is very important. Gradually, when AI will establish, or it will grow, right? Or it will boom, you will have to grow yourself. You will have to grow your knowledge accordingly. So it's not like you are bringing out some tool and you are not proficient enough to drive that tool. For instance, you have a driverless car, right? But you do not know um how to drive that car, right? How to utilize the services of that car. Okay, so that would be very challenging. Let's suppose you are building out the AI tool which can fly, right, without your interventions, but you still need to know how to give instructions. If there is any weather issues, you can take better decisions probably than that particular device. Okay, so end of the day, human intervention will be very very important. So it is not going to take over the human brain, but yes, it is very very creative. It is very very talented. It can think beyond the human brain. So that is true, but cannot take the position of human brain.
Okay, sir. Sir, as we talk about future of AI, and there's only one more emerging technology as decentralized AI. What do you think about it?
Can you please repeat your question? uh, Voice was not clear.
Sir, as we have number of emerging technology right now in our
Mm-hmm.
industrial phase, so there is a one more emerging technology as decentralized AI.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you anticipate data analytics model evolving to accommodate it?
See, over here, a lot of things are in question. Maybe the distributed computing in question, privacy and security would be a question over here. Your reduced dependencies is correct, but your authority or your own entity is very important. Okay, you would be thinking about the edge computing and all the challenges which are there. You would solve those problems with the help of analytics, because end of the day you are getting the data, and as a professional it stands your own duty to think how you can utilize that data, in what context you are going to use that data, and what are the problems areas you need to devise your solutions accordingly. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have a question. I
Mhm.
know it is slightly different from the topic, but anyway, what do you think about the current hot topic of Sam Altman getting fired? If you remember, there was one prediction made by Elon Musk that where he said AI will replace you and all, something like that. And this is happening. And you showed us just how a robot was packing a package. And it's simply just replacing the human. So, what do you think of the current hot topic of AI versus humans?
Um, I'm
Ashwin,
not
let me
really.
answer it. Ashwin,
Mm,
let me answer it.
mm.
So you're talking about AI being replacing humans. So obviously, if
Yes,
there
sir.
is somebody has to give the instruction. No? Without an instruction, nothing will work off. So if you switch off your phone, you're not going to get any updates. It's as simple as that. So somebody has to operate
So
it.
it is replacing any inventor actually. It is replacing it.
So it's very
Now that
simple.
Sir,
we are in.
See,
sir, when we talk about machines and if we say automation is being added to it, so
Hmm.
it makes me takes कि यहाँ पे मुझे शायद danger है शायद मेरी job को, because it is automated. Once it is operated, once it is switched on, it will keep on doing it.
Yes.
see, what happens is, there are two things very important. One is the service time. Second is the quality of the service. As you, if I give you the example of a packaging system, uh, what we want is to deliver the good packaging, right? Which is not possible as a normal human being. So if you, as a normal human being, do the packaging, you would definitely end up bringing error. Some boxes may turn out be uh, wrongly packed, and some may be correctly packed. If you talk about the example of beverage machines, so what they do is they close the nozzles or the closures of the bottles correctly, right? So what happens is if you manually do that stuff, that would end up generating the problems. Okay, so you need to bring out certain accuracy in your system. If human beings are turning out to be an error, we definitely would require a solution which can resolve that concern. Okay, so definitely it is the uh, taking over the human services in terms of the service sector. uh, but definitely some humans are still required to operate on them. Okay, uh, I would say uh, we are really highly populated, so definitely it is going to take over some jobs. If you would consider it like that, you would be totally wrong. Why? Because I don't have that screenshot currently in my hand. Had it been in my knowledge, I would have definitely taken into the consideration. Um, Around 100 years back, when calculator was introduced into the market, in Western countries, a lot of strikes being done. People started saying that it is going to take over the jobs of uh, the uh, the shop managers, right? Because they now, if calculators will be introduced, they would automatically do the calculations. They would speed up the calculations, and accountants or other jobs will be lost. But that never happened. That never happened, right? So we still have the calculators in the market, right? But still we are doing manual calculations, right? So you cannot say that it is reducing the job. With time, we would grow up our skills. We will learn a lot of new things, which we would apply in a realistic manner. Okay, and probably when new things will be introduced as an AI solution, we would then start looking for um, another knowledge or additional knowledge to improvise those areas with our technical skills. Okay, you are using WhatsApp, you are using Facebook. Still, a lot of companies are developing solutions uh, as a third-party solutions, which you can combine with WhatsApp or Facebook uh, to deliver the services, and they are AI solutions, right? And they are making a lot of money out of that. So you cannot say it is taking over. If it is taking over, you will have to take over the AI. Then you will have to groom yourself on top of those skills. Okay, I hope that makes sense.
Friend, we are having Dean Sir, Dr. Ankul Saxena. He wants to address you all, and then we'll wind off.
My friend, dear friend, it's a very happy day today that after my joining, I'm audible, sir?
Yes,
Should
yes, you're pretty much audible.
yeah. So from long back time, we are on the means planning phase that we will do some kind of this session, right? And after my joining in MIT, this is our uh, luck that we got you and your awesome speaker, Ashman Malhotra. Uh, on behalf of MIT Group of Institutions and on my own behalf, I would like to extend my thanks to you, Kishore Prasad ji, this wonderful speaker, Ashman Malhotra. I'm very impressed the way he speaks. Actually, he is very clear and very polite speaker, which is very much required for our students because students want to listen in this manner only. I'm very happy to, and I was being throughout this session because I also want to listen what the content is going on and how the things are being delivered. Happy to see that our auditors, my HOD, Department of CS and IT, she's handling two departments. Dr. Shai Sharma, she has done a lot of hard work to make this possible. Also, I would like to extend my thanks to Mr. Ajay Kumar, professor in IT department, that they have coordinated this webinar in so well executed manner. But I'm very sorry for one person in the message I saw. One, I don't know who is he. He's my student or what. I'm very sorry because I cannot provide you 1,000 crore package, nor the any company will provide you. I think so as if now, because you wrote this kind of message in the message box that how to get a one. This we should be very much clear about our questions. The speaker is speaking and you are writing this kind of questions that 1,000 crore package, how we get. So we should be realistic. We don't have to float in dreams. Anyway, we will see how can we provide you, and I will also want to meet you also. Request everybody to fill the form, feedback form. I would like to know how the session was, and it will help us to execute and plan such kind of more seminars and webinars in the future to come. Thank you so much, Kishorji. Thank you so much, Ashmanji, and thank you, my team, Swati ma'am and Ajay Kumarji, for inviting me to say a few words in this vote of thanks part. Now, I would like to request Ajayji or Swatiji, who is available to speak and to wind up this program.
बढ़िया था
Swati ma'am, are you there? Or Ajay sir? Okay, fine. Thank you, everyone. So we are winding it off. Thanks for your patience.
Thank you,
A
Thank
guys.
you, sir.
feedback form has been shared in the chat box. Kindly please go through and fill the form. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ashman sir. Thank you, Kishore sir. Thank you, Ankur sir. Thank you, Swati ma'am and Ajay sir.
Thank you all. Kishorji, I'm leaving now.
Yeah, please. Thank you.